Papua New Guineans urged to celebrate Christmas in the true meaning of the word. The body of murdered 19-year-old male student repatriated. And scientists say the worst of El Nino is over.
This is National EMTV News with Lorraine Guineans.
Good evening, thanks for joining us for Tuesday's news. People turn to celebrate Christmas without the true meaning of the event. That's part of the Christmas message from Father Victor Roach, the General Secretary of the Catholic Bishops' Conference. Father Roach said many times it's all just artificial joy when attention is focused elsewhere instead of the birth of Christ.
Father Victor gave the Church's Christmas message today. He stressed that Christmas should be a time of order, joy, peace and happiness in the family. However, he said many times people have artificial joy and happiness. He said that it becomes a real joy when Christ is put into Christmas.
But it also can be a time of artificial joy because, it lifts you up. But underneath there may be problems. There may be a tsunami inside.
Father Victor urged everyone to take time to attend Christmas church services. He said that Christmas becomes a real joy when there's reconciliation in family, clans and communities. He said because it is a time of order and peace, he urged people not to drink and cause problems to the communities. He also called on thieves to refrain from stealing.
Rascals, please take a Christmas break and give peace for the other people.
And for those who are affected by frost and droughts, those who are sick and could not celebrate Christmas, Father Victor gave his blessings for a joyous and peaceful Christmas. Vasinata Yama, National EMTV News.
An island village in the Central Province is into full swing of its Christmas celebrations. Fisherman Island Village, located about 30 minutes off Ella Beach, launched its festive celebrations over the weekend and will continue until the new year. Member for Moresby South Justin Chichenko donated 10,000 kina towards this cause. Lorraine Guineans reports.
Christmas shall not be wasted for Fisherman Islanders. The launching of the Christmas program over the weekend at the village will see festivities continue through to welcome the new year.
The aim of the programs were to get the clans to organize the events and fundraise. Before that, the church and the congregation were the ones doing the hosting and
Siligo clan is one of 5 clans that make up the village. This year is its turn to host Christmas festivities in the village. Mr. Iga said the program's main activities will include paraveta, gospel string bands, choir and sports.
And there are prizes involved to award the winners. So everybody is looking forward to celebrating and at the same time winning some prizes.
The concept of this village program to involve clans in organizing the festivities was initiated in 2011. Each clan takes a turn to host the rest of the clans every year in the celebrations, gathering the whole village as one in the spirit of Christmas. Lorraine Guineans, National EMTV News.
Lae City is preparing to celebrate the spirit of Christmas with happiness. Over the years, Lae has been known for its high crime rates. This year, that trend is changing. Lae's Catholic Diocese Bishop Christian Bluin has called on people in Lae to turn away from their misdeeds and celebrate with goodwill.
Today, Lae's Catholic Diocese Bishop Christian Bluin made a call for all people within the city to develop Christian values in their lives. It comes as the city prepares for another festive celebrations with families, friends and relatives coming together to share the joy. Despite Lae City being a crime hotspot in the country, Bishop Bluin encourages the public to be mindful of their behaviors in order to have a trouble-free Christmas.
And it is very important that we see that God, who is coming to be with us, will transform us, will help us to be better persons. When he said peace to people of goodwill, everybody wants to be a person of goodwill to be good.
This year's Christmas in Leh has been brightened with Christmas decorations, lights, or simply people coming together to share the happiness. Families have been seen in town shopping, meeting up, spending time together simply to feel the cheerfulness of Christmas.
And I surely ask all the people to restrain for drinking. It is the cause of many mishap that happens in our city. Drinking, drugs, and that means that we don't have the peace that we should have during Christmas.
Colin Barilai, National MTV News, Leh.
The body of the 19-year-old male student shot by police 2 weeks ago has been repatriated to Southern Highlands Province. 30 students and 4 teachers from Kagwa Secondary School accompanied the body home. The students and teachers left Leh at 11 p.m. last night and arrived at the school at 1:30 p.m. today.
The 4 teachers and 30 students traveled down to Leh to receive his body from Leh's funeral home late yesterday afternoon. Mourning relatives turned up at the Nino Oval and received the deceased body. They arrived in Kagwa Secondary School this afternoon and held his funeral service before his body was formally handed over to his parents. Kagwa Secondary School Principal Kita Yambi handed over the body to his parents. Thomas Kelayama was shot by police 2 weeks ago. Police were pursuing a 10-seater vehicle with several suspects armed with homemade guns towards Bumbu settlement area. Police were shooting at the criminals when he was shot in the chest. The suspects were involved in a robbery at phone house located along the PNG Post Ecops Road. Police have met with the relatives. Leh Metropolitan Commander Anthony Wagambi Jr. assured the relatives police will look into this incident. Investigations are continuing. Mata Lewis, National MTV News, Leh.
A driver in Port Moresby escaped death this morning when his vehicle was hit by a truck along the freeway. The driver sustained only minor injuries. Police officers at the scene say road accidents were becoming more common and drivers must take extra precaution during this festive season.
The accident this morning along the freeway near Ho'ola police station thankfully left no one dead or seriously injured. However, police have raised concerns for drivers to take extra precautions during this festive season. Police officers who were at the scene said this vehicle tried to avoid the flooded drain when another moving vehicle on high speed hit and dragged it to the roadside. The officer says reported cases of road accidents in Port Moresby are increasing.
You look at some all cars have bomb every week. One cars have a bomb because low speed, low driver, and kind also.
Official records from the National Road Safety Council shows that the National Capital District records the highest number of road accidents, followed by Morobe, Western and Eastern Highlands. The 10 years record from 2002 to 2011 shows that an estimated 300 to 500 men and women sustain injuries, with some incurring a disability as a result of the accident. The report estimates that between 100 to 300 men and women die annually from road accidents. Figures from World Health Organization shows that reported cases of road accidents in PNG are high among other Pacific countries. Quinton Alom, National MTV News.
Still to come on National MTV News, experts say the worst of El Nino is over, Sirinumu Dam on the rise and PNG's climate change concept at COP21. Details of those stories when we come back. Welcome back to the news. Scientists have confirmed that the wet season in PNG has started and will continue for the next 4 months. However, it is not all good news, as explained by the chairman of the National Disaster Awareness and Preparedness Committee, Samuel Maiha, today.
drought conditions and frost conditions are gone. They are history.
Mr. Maiha confirmed what everyone has been hoping for. The worst of the El Nino is over for Papua New Guinea. However, with the new monsoon season comes new risks.
I think the country really needs to be prepared over the next 4 months for things like strong winds, flooding, resulting in possible landslides, and also tropical cyclones as well. That's our forecast going forward.
While the warning is for the whole country, the New Guinea Island region will be more at risk.
Increased risk of rainfall, heavy rainfall and flooding over New Guinea Islands compared to the other parts of the country.
While the wet season has started in the country, the El Nino is not over, and its lingering conditions will impact the amount of rainfall that will fall over the next 4 months. And particularly for Port Moresby, this is not good news.
Lower than average cumulative rainfall from December till April, May. The Suriname Dam, for instance, may not be filled, and so over the superseding dry season, there will be some risk of water shortage.
Sarah Aupong, National EMTV News.
Furthermore, Mr. Maiha said even though there are no significant risks to food security that will be brought on by the wet season, disaster aid should continue.
Other than, of course, the need to continue to maybe provide disaster relief until such time in those provinces or localities which were affected by dry conditions, the crops mature. So that's the only risk in terms of food security.
The Suriname Dam, the main water supply to Port Moresby city residents, will increase water capacity if current rains continue. After 2 days of steady rainfall, the Suriname catchment is showing some signs of increasing water level. Eric Harupma travelled up to the Suriname Dam today and files this report.
The Suriname Dam, which is the main water supply and power generating facility for NCD residents, is showing signs of increasing water levels. After 2 days of rainfall in the area, this catchment is beginning to refill. EMTV arrived today at the Suriname Dam and interviewed local residents about the water level. The main lifeline to the Port Moresby residents has been experienced severe drops in water level due to the continuous dry spell.
Look in this dam, level Logenium go down straight. So look same, suppose rain put down, it go next year by level Logen by Kamanta.
This is the Suriname Dam, the main water supply facility of Edarano, supplying water to NCD residents. However, according to climatologists, the transition in the weather pattern will see Port Moresby experiencing a period of La Nina or prolonged wet season. This will bring a substantial amount of rainfall to the Western Pacific region, including Port Moresby. The impacts could be torrential rain, flooding, and sea surges for the next couple of months into the new year. Eric Arupman, National EMTV News.
The legal binding agreement put forth by the PNG Office of Climate Change and Development will be adopted by over 190 countries in the world. The 21st Conference of Parties President Laurent Fabius made the announcement after Papua New Guinean climatologists presented vibrant negotiations on climate change issues affecting Pacific countries. They made the negotiations with other international climate and environment specialists during the COP21 meet in Paris, France.
The discussions were centered on reducing emissions by deforestation and forest degradation plus, an area OCCD was very vocal about in 2015. Key areas in this agreement include climate change financing, adaptation, loss and damages. Under the climate change financing, the PNG team, led by Environment and Conservation Minister John Pundari, Representatives from OCCD and the PNG Forest Authority argued strongly for financial access to carry out the programs. They said the category is in line with PNG's strategy to support small or least developed Pacific countries in regard to climate change. In 2011, during COP17 in South Africa, PNG's proposal on REDD+ was embedded with other participating countries in the Universal Agreement and was to be consolidated in COP21. Now, following the recent negotiations, all 169 countries will be implementing the agreement in 2020. Minister Pundari described the announcement by President Fabius as a momentous occasion and expressed his appreciation to the global community for reaching a compromise to adopt the first ever legal agreement on climate change. Thekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
A notice of motion to dismiss Chairman of the Hela Provincial Assembly and Governor of Hela, Anderson Agiru, has been moved. President of the LLGs in the Assembly petitioned the removal of Governor Agiru on grounds of lack of presence in the province, no Assembly meetings, no provincial plans and other issues. The motion was moved by Como Magarima MP Francis Potape and witnessed by senior public servants. Assembly members say Hela needs to restore stability and integrity and remove the type of governing system since breaking away from Southern Highlands Province. They have given 7 days to Governor Agiru to respond or see a new governor sworn in. Meanwhile, a court order was taken out at 8 this morning by Hela Governor Anderson Agiru. The court order states that the defendants, Como Magarima MP Francis Potape and 8 other Assembly members, are restrained from convening or holding purported meeting of the Hela Provincial Assembly on the 22nd of December or any other time until further orders are issued by the courts. The matter will return to the courts on January the 15th of 2016. And now looking at our finance news, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.3345 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.3270, $0.4515 Australian dollars, $0.2962 euro and 39.34 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold and copper closed higher, while coffee and cocoa closed the day lower. Palm oil closed lower, while crude oil and copper closed the day higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 123 points lower, the ASX closed at 19 points higher, and the All Ordinaries closed at 19 points higher. And among stories after the break, Lae City Police launches Christmas and New Year operations. Stay with us. Welcome back to National EMTV News. Communications within the public service system will be improved to ensure citizens of Papua New Guinea know the work being done by every government department. Personal Management Departmental Head John Cully says this is a key indicator on the performance-based contracts that have been lacking in the past years. Fabian Hakelitz has more.
The Personal Management Department has earmarked on a new strategy to improve communications within the public service. As the national government's Premier Human Resource Department Secretary John Cully is determined, communication will transform public service delivery. Over the last 4 years, the department has succeeded with the implementation of many reforms.
And it's about ensuring that our clients are regularly informed of what we are doing. Because if we keep informing them, they become a more demanding public. And more you have a demanding public, the more you are required to improve on your services.
Starting next year, 2016, all departments are to design, develop and promote smarter human resource strategies. Mr. Kali says the public service must communicate and speak up.
So over the last 3 or 4 years, we have realized that our system, which we launched in 2011, has fallen short of a governance framework. It's lacked dynamism. It has lacked a lot of features that we felt were not responding to the needs of our clients.
Meanwhile, all departmental heads have executed contracts to improve on key result areas. The Personal Management Department will ensure departmental heads deliver so that people can receive benefits that will add value to the public service.
Is about driving workforce reforms, is about making a cultural change in the workplace, and it's about managing, monitoring, evaluating, and improving performance.
Fabian Hakelitz, National EMTV News.
Lay Police have launched its Christmas and New Year operations starting today and will end in January 2016. Lay Metropolitan Commander Superintendent Anthony Wagambi Jr. says more than 300 officers in all the units will be involved in the operations.
The festive season operations will include roadblocks and foot patrols. In a parade held this morning, Metropolitan Commander Anthony Wagambi Jr. says they will be utilizing all their main power within the city to carry out these operations. This includes mobile squad. Traffic operations have already started. The traffic operation is a joint operation between the National Road Safety and the police.
Available manpower within the city to carry out this operation throughout the Christmas period all the way to New Year.
Wagambi also encouraged officers to work closely with the law and order committee leaders in the communities. Meanwhile, police will strategize for next year as there is an increase in armed robbery and car theft. Wagambi says police will be working to maintain law and order in the city and to keep it to a minimum. Despite the lack of manpower, police in Lay have been praised for their quick response to incidents. Wagambi praised his officers for performing their duties, but reminded them to be mindful of their conduct when on duty. He says with the use of mobile phones and internet, people can easily scrutinize them. Mata Lewis, National EMTV News, Lay.
People with special needs have been provided opportunities to study in Australia through the Australian Awards Pacific Scholarships. Scholarships manager Trent Scott says people with special needs also contribute to nation building in their own special way, hence the need for further studies.
For the first time, it was good to learn that the Australian Awards Pacific Scholarships embraces opportunities for people with special needs. Mr. Scott, speaking at the recent roadshow in Caving, New Ireland Province, said people with special needs were encouraged to apply. This includes women and people living and working in provinces, encouraged to be proactive about their career goals and begin the scholarships.
People with the Disabilities Organisation, Talent Services, for example, all year round, you've just got to apply.
The roadshow in Caving focused on registration, application processes, selection cycle, criteria and priority areas. These are requirements for those who wish to pursue studies in one of Australia's tertiary institutions. Mr. Scott said potential applicants are expected to return and contribute to Papua New Guinea's development needs, mainly in areas of health, education, infrastructure with law and justice. The Australian Pacific Awards Scholarships provide Papua New Guinea's next generation of leaders with an opportunity to undertake tertiary study, research or professional development in Australia. Fabian Hakelitz, National EMTV News.
Goilala District will see the upgrading of roads in the new year. This was announced by Goilala MP William Sam when launching the infrastructure development projects for the district yesterday. Marilyn Diao-Katam reports.
Yesterday saw the new infrastructure and development projects for Goilala district, including 5 new Toyota Land Cruisers allocated to the district administrator, district treasurer, and LG presidents of Guare, Waitape, and Tapini. Other projects include rural airstrips upgrading, school supplies, and VSET, while a 10,000 kina check was also presented for the upgrade of Tapini Highway. Opposition leader Don Polia and his deputy Sam Basil were there to witness the launch.
Other projects that are coming up in line is Bakiru to Tolokuma. That road is on the line. And my people in Waitape up to Ivani, your Dubi truck is coming the next batch of planning.
Goilala MP William Sam said the new cars will assist the district administration and LLG presidents to get around the area. He also called on the people of Goilala to work together with the local level government to help develop their communities. Sam stated that 73% of the 6 million kina budget for Goilala district will be allocated towards infrastructure developments.
Your 6 million is been put into your highway, your airstrips. I really want to put more into administration, but with the breakup, we are able to do what we can. Hopefully, with the once we are quit for this 6 million, then we get more, and then we can do more.
Opposition Deputy Sam Basil commended the efforts of Goilala MP, saying infrastructure developments are important in rural areas. Basil says while 80% of Papua New Guineans live in rural areas, the national government must include them when making decisions for the country, such as the national budget.
One ward area of Papua New Guinea, it must get community health worker, it must get village birth attendant, it must get elementary school teacher, one time elementary classroom. It must get inshallah assembly, na inshallah LLG area, it must get machine blow work. Na president it must get car, na president it must support in work blow member.
Marilyn Diaukatam, National EMTV News.
New Guinea's Chief Executive Officer Simon Fu has attributed the company's success to the hardworking management team and 2,000 employees. Mr. Fu said this when presenting 20 million kina to the state as dividend. He said the loyalty of the staff has ensured the company persisted through a challenging transitional period.
The National Airline's success is credited to the hard-working staff. Mr. Fu said this when commenting on the 20 million kina dividend payment to the state through Kumul Consolidated Holdings. New Guinea's state-owned entity was obliged to contribute certain percentage back to its owner.
New Guinea has been giving regular dividends to the government, and we were happy to make that 20 million kina dividend last week to the shareholder.
The national government's efforts in improving airport infrastructure had helped New Guinea improve its operations. Also, this has enabled the company to deliver a sound profit and a good dividend to its shareholder.
At the same time, we don't draw any money from the government. We are self-sufficient, and we have been self-sufficient for many years now. And if we run at a profit, we have to make sure that the shareholder gets the money back.
Mr. Fu thanked the national government for its strong support. He said New Guinea's board and management are determined in the airline's future growth. Fabian Hakalitz, National EMTV News.
Chukai Sports is up next. I'll be back with all the details. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. The PNG Sports Foundation and the PNG Games Council have decided to implement an age cap on the age eligibility of the 7th PNG Games and the ones to follow. Executive Director of the PNG Sports Foundation, Peter Chamalili Jr., said it was one of the first crucial conditions they have now imposed, and he hopes to see more quality athletes develop through the PNG Games. However, the restricting and implementing of an age cap for the eligibility of the PNG Games could see a blind eye being turned on a wider range of talent.
From the athlete's perspective is now from ages 12
to 35. It used to be open before, but we saw that, well, we need to start encouraging the younger youth being involved with the game, and so that's where we kept it off at. So,
the number of people playing rugby in the Pacific Islands has seen record growth in 2015. This year alone saw the playing numbers throughout Oceania, including Australia and New Zealand, reach a staggering 1.1 million. World Rugby's regional manager for the Asia and Oceania region, William Glenwright, said the Get Into Rugby program helped to get into the schools, boosting playing numbers by 77,000. The program was a combination of development of new curriculum and the upskilling and restructuring in the development staff within the unions that's allowed to achieve the significant growth this year. Following his most successful campaign in the 2015 Rugby World Cup, Wallabies captain Stephen Moore has announced he will be leaving the ACT Brumbies at the end of next year's Super Rugby season and joining the Queensland Reds in time for the 2017 season. Before moving to the Brumbies, Moore began his rugby career with 47 games for the Reds. Meanwhile, CEO of the ACT Brumbies, Michael Jones, has expressed the club's disappointment at Moore's move. While Moore's announcing of switching Super Rugby clubs in 2017 has come as a huge disappointment to the ACT Brumbies, the 32-year-old remains adamant on being a part of the club's hopeful success in 2016. The Brumbies have made back-to-back finals appearances since 2014, including winning the Super Rugby title, and Moore has said he would like to be a part of the club's third and possible championship appearance. While Moore's move to Queensland will draw more support to the Queensland Reds, the ACT Brumbies CEO Michael Jones has expressed his disappointment, telling The Guardian online the club was extremely disappointed and that the Brumbies had worked extremely hard to create a deal that was accepted to Moore. Stephen Moore led the Wallabies to the final of the Rugby World Cup against New Zealand and has chosen to remain playing for an Australian franchise in the Super Rugby competition as his sight is set on a final World Cup appearance in 2019. Papua New Guinea's #1 squash athlete Lynette Vai made history for PNG squash, winning the Under-19 Junior Squash Open in Singapore over the weekend. The 17-year-old defeated Sarah Chu of Malaysia in a threatening 5-set encounter. Just months after winning 3 gold medals at the 2015 Pacific Games, Vai has achieved yet another milestone in PNG squash. And Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. Now to soccer in the autonomous region. Sticky Rangers have walked home champions of the Lauta Cup tournament. The Rangers from Huchenan Buka defeated Buin United in the grand final over the weekend. Rangers won 2-1 in a very strong close encounter. To international soccer, and in the Club World Cup in Europe, Lionel Messi broke the deadlock and Luis Suarez scored twice in the second half to give Barcelona a 3-0 win over Argentinian champion team River Plate.
South American champions River Plate, whose side cost only around €5 million in transfer fees, did enough to worry the European champions for the first half hour, but were never in the contest after falling behind. River Plate, backed by 15,000 fanatical supporters, made a promising start, but ended up producing weak efforts which were easily saved by Barcelona goalkeeper Claudio Bravo. Messi was denied by Marcelo Baravero in the 11th minute before scoring the opener. Messi, playing against an Argentine team for only the second time in his career, showed superb control to turn in Neymar's head after 36 minutes. Uruguay forward Suarez buzzed clear of the River Plate defense 4 minutes after halftime to extend Barcelona's advantage. He headed another in the 69th minute from a pinpoint Neymar cross to take his tally in the tournament to 5 goals. River Plate came close to pulling a goal back in the 77th minute, but Alereo's header was tipped over the bar by Bravo. 8 minutes later, they had another opportunity by Gonzalo Martinez. Left foot shot hit the post. The European champions, fielding 6 South American players in the starting lineup, sliced through the River Plate defense and looked as if they could score with almost every attack as they went on to win the title for the 3rd time in history. Shane Soroya, National EMTV Sports.
The head of European soccer, Michael Platini, has vowed to fight a decision made by the Independent Ethics Committee of FIFA in court to ban him for 8 years. He is calling it a pure masquerade. Dion Kombeng reports.
Michael Platini is not alone. Sepp Blatter, the former FIFA president, is also appealing the 8-year ban. They were both banned and fined for ethics violation in connection with a 2 million Swiss franc payment made by FIFA to Platini in 2011 at a time Blatter was seeking re-election. Platini was a favorite to succeed Blatter as president of FIFA until he was suspended in October. Platini said his conscience was clear and that he would challenge the decision in the Court of Arbitration of Sport and ultimately seek damages in civil proceedings. "I will fight to the end," he said. In a separate statement, FIFA said it acknowledges the decision of the Independent Ethics Committee and has no further comment. Dion Kombeng, National EMTV Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather details after the break.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Now taking a look at your weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region. Cloudy with rain periods in Port Moresby, showers and rain in Daru, Alotau and Popondetta, and showers and thunderstorms in Kerema. In the Momase region, brief showers in Ley and Medang, morning showers clearing, then mostly fine in Wewak and Vanimore. And in the New Guinea Islands region, brief showers in Lorengau, showers and thunderstorm in Kokopo, Rabaul and Kimbe, and few showers in Buka. And in the Highlands region, all centres cloudy with rain periods. Now recapping our top stories for tonight. Papua New Guineans urged to celebrate Christmas in the true meaning of the word. The body of murdered 19-year-old male student repatriated, and scientists say the worst of El Nino is over. And that's the news we have for you tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Lorraine Genia. Pleasant viewing. Good night.